actually, before we go into the playing and all that side of things, you talked about the popularity of some of the broadcasts. So can you explain to me, I mean, I know there's streamers like Nakamura, very popular, and there's also chess.com's own stream. Can you tell me how you can view chess.com video content?
Absolutely. So if you're interested in watching video content from chess.com, the easiest thing to do is to go to chess.com/TV, because we will always have our biggest shows embedded on chess.com/TV. And you can also scroll down and you can get a schedule of upcoming shows as well. But honestly, these days in the chess landscape, there's no shortage of chess. And our official shows, you can find at chess.com/TV, also twitch.tv/chess, youtube.com/chess are our two main broadcasting outlets. And then you see Hikaru here broadcasting, on his channel. If you go to the category for chess on Twitch, like you go in there and I'm not as familiar with the Twitch website, but you explore, you look for the category for chess, you'll see that there are dozens of people all the time. YouTube doesn't quite have categories figured out yet. We've had some talks with YouTube to try and figure it out, and it's a little bumpy, but obviously there's people streaming chess on YouTube regularly as well. So chess.com/TV is a fantastic place on our site to find streams, but there are always many, many streams that are live, as we know now, and tens of thousands of people watching those streams. And Hikaru's live right now, and I don't know what he's doing. The audio on. I saw he had the Botez sisters template just a moment ago, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I just don't have the context, but it looks like a fun stream.
Yeah. Something to do with Peaky Blinders. Yeah. But it's so if you wanted to watch videos back as well as have live, do you do it from chess.com TV, or can you do it another way? What's the best way of doing that?
Well, on chess.com, are you talking about like broadcast archives, or are you talking about like instructional video, 10-15 minute video? What's the Slav defense, or why is the London the worst of the chess openings?
Yeah, take me through both, because one scenario I was thinking about was I did miss some of the bits that I saw of the Caruana coverage of the World Championship. I thought he and Robert Hess were brilliant, and so I would like to watch more of that. On the other hand, yeah, how would I also go about learning about like the French or something? So yeah, if we take both of those.
Well, on the broadcast side, we're broadcasting through Twitch and YouTube and other outlets, but Twitch and YouTube particularly. Yeah. And on Twitch, you do have to be a subscriber to the channel to access the archives. A thing that not a lot of people know is if someone is a subscriber to our Twitch channel, and if you connect your account at chess.com/settings, there's a connected account section where you can connect a Twitch account and various other accounts like a YouTube account. If you do that and you're a subscriber on Twitch, then not only do you get access to our archives, access to the emotes that are very popular when watching live broadcast and all of that kind of stuff, you also get ad-free chess.com. So we have a linkage to give you an added benefit if you're a subscriber to our Twitch channel to get no ads on chess.com. Right. Which, if you're interested in either of those things, is a pretty good value that I think not a lot of people know about. But on Twitch, if you're a subscriber, you can access the archives. We do get some complaints because people are like, I want to see the archives, but I'm not a Twitch subscriber and I'm not looking to be. Totally fair. YouTube always has the full archives of the broadcasts. So if you go to videos, you can switch it to past live streams to make it easier to search, and you'll see our broadcast for World Rapid and Blitz. And if you scroll further down, you'll get the full World Championship and all of that stuff.
Great. Okay.
We also have a separate channel youtube.com/chesscomlive that we use exclusively for live broadcast. So our biggest broadcasts are on both our main channel, which has 800,000 subscribers,
Right.
and ChessCom Live. But some events like Title Tuesday are only on ChessCom Live. And we basically found that a lot of our 800,000 subscribers just weren't interested in quite all of the events that we were broadcasting.
Right,
so we made a separate channel to try and, offer a little more exactly what our subscribers wanted on the main channel and have a channel for people who wanted every single live stream.
Right, I see. Got you. Yeah. So I see. So that's pretty clear. But what about if I was a keen chess player and I wanted to improve my game?
Absolutely. So I would point to lessons. Well, improvement is really broad, but speaking on the video front that we talked about, lessons are one of our products that's available to Diamond members. There's a lot that's available for free. And if you're just starting in chess, we do have a how to play chess course that's 20 videos long. That's totally free. And you also get like, I think with the gold and platinum memberships, you get some intermediate lessons as well. But for the full archive, it's included with a Diamond membership. And I don't have a recent count, but I want to say there's maybe 1,500 videos-ish in lessons at the moment. The courses do differ, but they're organized by course here. One that I've really enjoyed recently is the Indian School of Chess by Surya Ganguly. And I think this one's going to be 10 videos when it's all done, but I think the first 5 videos are available right now. You can see they're 10 to 15, maybe up to 20 minutes long here.
Right.
And Surya's, sorry, my daughter's crying in the background and I'm just going to live with that.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry to the audience. But I had the pleasure of meeting with Surya before he recorded this, along with our curriculum director, Jeremy Kane. And there's just a ton of great stories that are in this course. It's fantastic stories about like young Viswanathan Anand when he was growing up in the Philippines, which I didn't know. I completely had no idea that as a young person, he grew up in the Philippines for a chunk of his life. And just Surya's memories of Anand and some of the stories are in here, which is fantastic. And he's just talking about kind of the whole gamut from Sultan Khan and some of the early players to Vishy, who is obviously central. And then the ultimate course is going to include material with Gukesh and Nihal Sarin and all that stuff. So this one I think is really fun. One thing that we have with our...
Sorry to cut across, just whilst I think of it, it says on there 5 challenges or something like that. Are those challenges relating to the video?
Absolutely. I should have clicked here right away, actually. And if I click start challenges, the point would be to watch the video and then start the challenges.
Okay.
Obviously we'll just click start challenges. There's for each video in a course, usually about 5 questions just to test your knowledge of kind of what you just watched.
Right. I see.
Our curriculum director will get in here, talk with the authors, and find 5 positions that are just kind of some of the most instructive that were covered. And then he'll put those in here so that there's always a kind of rhythm in our courses for those who want it. I mean, you can kind of experience it any way you want, but the rhythm we're going for is watch a short video, do some challenges to kind of test your memory about what was covered, and then move on to another video, right? And you just kind of get that rhythm there. We find putting together something like an hour of video to be too much. People don't want to just keep watching video. You need a few different ways to kind of process something if it's going to stick. So this is the approach that we found people are responding to. That's fun, and it kind of mixes some entertainment with some nice test material. in this case, what's the question? What amazingly modern concept did Sultan Khan use to gain an edge in this position? I've not watched the material, which I really should have, if I was going to try to answer this question.
Right.
I maybe like H4, H5.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Right.
I'm going to take one guess. I don't want to slow us down too much, but let's guess that it's H4, H5.
Hey, well
Yes.
done, Sam.
All right. I feel good about that. And I guess that makes sense. It's modern in some sense because you have like all the neural nets loving to push H pawns.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when you're looking at Sultan Khan, you're really thinking about kind of Indian chess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the time that he learned, it wasn't possible to castle in Indian chess.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes.
And I know, kind of mixing our experiences, that when Vladimir Kramnik did his material with the Alpha Zero team on no castling chess, so kind of circling back to a more modern perspective again on this issue, that they pushed the H pawn a lot. Like Alpha Zero loved to push the H pawn when you took out the rule to permit castling. So
yes,
there's some nice threads here.
Interesting. And remind me, you said this is available to Diamond members. Is that so? There's different types of membership. Then I mean, some people might not know, but Diamond's one of the branches, isn't it?
Absolutely. Let me go to our membership page. So this is a summary, and this is not complete because I mentioned a moment ago that there's something like maybe 80 features on the site. I think I might have mentioned that before we started the call, but this is kind of a summary of some of the ones that our members are most interested in. Obviously, we have a free membership that includes, complete ability to play and do tons of things on site, free news, articles, analyze your games with Stockfish and chess.com/analysis, et cetera, et cetera. Gold membership, and all of the premium memberships give an ad-free experience. Gold membership, you can see the benefits here, and then platinum, and then diamond is just everything. So complete access to anything on the site.
Got it. Okay. So
we kind of found that a lot of the gold members go gold because what they like is more of the puzzles experience. And so they just want an upgrade in puzzles experience and maybe a few of the other benefits, but that's something that actually, I think I have it backwards. Sorry, I'm not on the team that's looking at it. Sorry. I think the gold experience is one that's particularly been resonating with people who like the analysis, like the post-game analysis, and that's unlimited there.
Okay.
Platinum has been really effective for people who really want puzzles, and that's the thing that they really want to unlock.
Right.
And then diamond is, I really want everything, and particularly I want the stuff that's going to help me learn best, like lessons and similar. So there's a lot that you can kind of unpack here, but that's kind of maybe one useful way of thinking about it. Gold, great for analysis. Platinum, great for puzzles. Diamond, everything, and particularly those kind of instructive parts.
I think that's roughly what happened to me, that I started off with gold, but I got addicted to Puzzle Rush. So and then I moved to platinum, eventually to diamond. So let's go through some of the things that's listed. I mean, should we start with puzzles? Because there are a range of ways of doing puzzles, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to give maybe a larger perspective, the most popular feature on the site by far, to state the very obvious, is play, right?
Right. That's reassuring.
Reassuring. Every single day there are over 10 million games played. I think that right now there's probably 210,000 plus people playing on the site just at this particular moment. So over 10 million games played each day. There's a lot of stuff wrapped up into play, including tournaments, and we recently offered leagues, and you can play bots, you can play daily chess. We had 33,000 people register for our daily chess championship. So people really respond to that. For people like me who are older school, we'd call it correspondence chess. But our newer members respond to daily chess, sort of chess by email or chess by app. Analysis has kind of been like the next most popular thing, because people who play love to look at their games. So maybe we can look at the game review in a moment. And then puzzles has kind of been like the third most popular thing that we offer. And then lessons maybe right behind there, but analysis, puzzles, and lessons are really close in terms of popularity. And they're all just getting their butt whipped by play. People love to play, which is of course the most important thing. And with puzzles, like we offer multiple modes here. We offer the ability to do rated puzzles up here in the right. We offer Puzzle Rush, which has been obviously tremendously popular. Like if I open puzzles here, you see that I can solve puzzles and I can improve my puzzle rating, which is 3128 right now. If you solve a little bit more quickly, then you'll gain a few more points. But the key thing is to be accurate. If you miss, then you step back. And, if you get the puzzle right, or even sometimes if it's like a longer solution and you get like the first 5 out of 6 moves right, you'll gain some rating points.
So that one is really for people to take their time. I know there is a time factor in the scoring, but to take your time and it's pretty educational, I would have thought. I mean, because certainly the way I do it, I don't worry about the time factor on the score. I just take as long as I need.
I have there's a setting here to show the timer, and I often turn it off because I just want to focus on accuracy. And as a coach, like that's always what I've recommended to my students, because at least if you're focused on classical chess, what matters is that you get the right answer basically every time. Because if you get the wrong answer, then you lose the game, right? It doesn't matter that you got, 9, it doesn't matter that you got the answer in 10 seconds and you were right 90% of the time, because the one time you're wrong is the time you lose the game because you miscalculated, So the key is to get to 10 out of 10. So I turned that off, but it's up to everyone kind of what their experience is. Puzzle Rush, you can pick 3-minute, 5-minute, and survival mode. Basically 3 strikes and you're out. And pretty self-explanatory that 3 minutes is as many puzzles as you can solve in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, as many puzzles as you can solve in 5 minutes. They get a little harder with each puzzle. And I think that the biggest surprise to me in terms of Puzzle Rush has been that survival's crazy popular. We were getting requests for survival, and we were like, it's not too difficult to do that. Let's give that a shot. We think it'll be kind of a niche thing for people who really like low stress and just don't want a timer. They just want to keep working on accuracy, which, as I just mentioned, I'd recommend for students. And crazy popular. It's become the most popular mode. Is people really like the 3 strikes. And some people love the race against the clock. And it turns out a lot of people don't. So we have those options for people to kind of customize their experience.
All right, that's very interesting. I mean, I would have thought that the 5-minute would have been the most popular, but that's good. That's good.
Puzzle Battle is basically Puzzle Rush, but against another person. You're solving the exact same set of puzzles, new set of puzzles generated each time. You get a rating as you compete in Puzzle Battle. Can challenge people directly. You can observe the best people playing, which is really fun. If you want to watch some people who are really good.
So they get the same puzzles, do they, or do they get different ones?
They get the same ones. You can see. You can hover over here and see all the puzzles. You can see if you hover over the first one, in each that it's the exact same puzzle.
I see.
Because otherwise it wouldn't really be fair, right? You could get a more complicated set than your opponent. So this makes sure that it's totally fair.
Right.
Daily puzzle, great feature in puzzles. Two things I'd mention about the daily puzzle that we did this year that I think are great additions that people may not know about. I mean, first off, we updated the kind of experience in both the apps and the website of what it looks like. So it looks much more like the rest of the puzzles on site. It didn't used to. Right. But now after you solve the puzzle, or if you miss it, let's try and solve this one. It looks here like this check should be good before we pick off the bishop. No, I did it wrong.
Rook takes.
Why am I wrong? So I go here, king f8. Okay. So I had to do rook takes queen. And then after king f7, is there a knockout blow that I missed? Because my rook is under attack and my bishop is under attack. So let me retry.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
King f7. And I mean, no, I don't think this bishop takes should necessarily win. Oh, I think I see it. Oh, wow. Wow. Rook A8
right.
there.
Okay, fine.
That's a beautiful piece of geometry. That's a beautiful piece of geometry. All right. There we go.
Right. But it's quite interesting. I think it's probably because we were on this video, you were trying to, you did it a little bit too fast.
I did it a little bit too fast, but rook A8 was a nice move. Yeah, really nice move.
It was beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to mention that we added is the modal that you get here when you complete the puzzle, or you can just click on the calendar in the upper right and get it. That lets you go through all of the past puzzles and see which ones you've solved. So I know that there are members who are going back through the entire puzzle history dating back to 2007, because since we added this feature, I get tickets about a puzzle in 2008 that had a typo in the title. So people are checking this out, and I think it's really cool. I've, you know, all the other puzzle modes are fun, but sometimes like I'll just be like, go back and I'll just do November 2021. I'm just going to do these. That's kind of satisfying for me. So that's pretty cool in my experience. And you know, if you're looking for just a nice selection of puzzles picked by a master, then you've got a huge archive here, right? Over 10 years of puzzles, and you can navigate them all.
Right. I never had any idea of that. I had assumed daily puzzle, you get one flash up once a day and you can't go back and, right. So that's very interesting. Yeah. Right.
You would think it would be like Wordle, but we do have the archive. We're a step ahead of Wordle in that regard.
Right.
And then the other thing that I mentioned is that we added explainer videos. So if I click watch video here after trying the puzzle, I get an explanation here by International Master Kostya Kavutsky. So especially for people who are learning, and you know, like me, might be very confused at first, like, why is it incorrect to take the bishop with check? I don't understand what's the improvement. Oh, it's this rook A8 move. Like, this is really complicated. Then you can watch Kostya Kavutsky explain it. A nice short video, 2 minutes. And he's a great coach. So he's going to give you some really good tips that apply not just for this puzzle, but for, you know, your future solving and helping you kind of improve that experience.
Okay, got it. Okay. So is that puzzles by and large?
I'd mention one other thing really quickly that I think not a lot of people know. You can do custom puzzles. And with custom puzzles, it's unrated. So let's say your puzzle rating is like 2800 and you really worked hard to get to 2800 and you want to do some fast puzzles, you're not really feeling puzzle rush. You want to do some that are kind of easiest for you. I get that experience sometimes. Like I want to do some 2200 ones that I think I can solve, but like just a consistent set that'll be challenging, but not too challenging, kind of sharpen me up.
Right.
You can do that here. Set your rating range, customize particular themes that you want to work on.
I see.
Or just say all themes, toggle on as many of these as you want.
Right.
And just kind of grind through. So these are totally unrated. You can also only do puzzles that you missed previously. And the other thing that I think is just great about this is like this, I think is a great option for coaches. Like I would use this when I was teaching in classrooms before COVID. And I would teach a lesson on forks or pins or skewers or whatever. And then I would just select the theme for like pins. And I'd pick a rating range that I thought was appropriate to the class, like maybe 1000 to 1400, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we just try and do a few. So that was, for me as an instructor, just a really helpful way to kind of work on themes in the class.
Yeah, absolutely. Those ratings are like chess.com ratings. They're not, if you ask for 1000 to 1400, it's not a sort of FIDE rating.
Not exactly. So here's my question for you. What's your rating, Danny?
About 1650 FIDE.
Okay. So if you get a puzzle rated 1650, do you think that you should solve it most of the time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So if we then take that, which is the answer that we almost always get, and we rate the puzzle 1650 and you solve it most of the time, that will then mean that your puzzle rating will be like 2000. Right.
Okay.
And that's kind of how it works in terms of puzzle rating. So a lot of people talk about their puzzle rating being much better than their normal rating. And that's basically the reason is the feedback that we've gotten over and over again is if I get a puzzle that's my rating, I should solve it like 90% of the time. And we're like, okay, you should solve it 90% of the time, which means that you're going to be kind of higher rated than the puzzle.
Right. I see.
It's a situation where, it's just a kind of its own ELO pool, and your performance against the puzzle, like, how you're doing when you get 2200 puzzles, 2300 puzzles is affecting your ELO, but it's also affecting the puzzle ELO. The puzzle also gets rated. Yeah. So if everyone's solving it, it's kind of like everyone's beating it if it was a player, and the rating will get pushed down. And if no one's solving it, the rating will get pushed up. So it's actually being treated just like a chess game with two opponents. In this case, you and the puzzle are the opponent, and the rating shift.
I see. Yeah. Well, no, that's a great feature. I like that. Yeah. So certainly I've learned a lot on that. Yeah. So that's puzzles. And because after playing games, I have analyzed, gone over them afterwards. Has that changed recently? Is that because you've got something called Chess Review? Is that the same thing as I used to do when I clicked analysis? Or
so great question. It is a new feature that we launched this fall, about a month before the World Championship, maybe 2 months. Now, when you finish a game, you get the option to do a game review. We used to have a feature called Game Report, and we basically took a lot of the things that people liked about that and said, let's try and streamline this, because basically we were providing a few different tabs to look at different things about the game. And we said, let's try and get the review experience into one tab, the things that people like most, some other features that people are interested in, that we think we can do some really cool things with. And so we pushed everything into a review tab and tried to make it a really seamless experience. I have a review pulled up here between Hans Niemann and Hikaru Nakamura in a game.
Right.
And so whenever you finish a game, you can do a review. You get an estimate of your accuracy on a scale of 0 to 100. So Hikaru was playing black here and played really accurately, as he tends to do.
Right. Yes.
And you get information about, how many brilliant moves were played in the game, which is an algorithm that we put a lot of work into to try and identify really, really great sacrifices and cool combinations. Obviously, it's very difficult to do that in an automated way, as opposed to like having a coach get in there and apply their own sense of aesthetics.
Yes.
But we think we've gotten an algorithm that is consistently identifying some of the most satisfying and interesting moves in the position.
Yes.
And also on the other side, we're identifying blunders and things like that. So it's a tool that's going to help kind of get a quick perspective on your game, point to places where you can improve, also congratulate you on spots you did well, because we think that's really important too. A lot of chess analysis is just like bad inaccuracy. And we want both dimensions there, right? We want to highlight the positives and illustrate the areas to improve as well. So then like you can just scroll through here, or you can click start review. I tend to scroll because I'm going to immediately like spot moments that I want to go to, and I'll just go there. But we have a kind of a review process that will push you through what our algorithm thinks are some of the most interesting moments in the game. Like this moment when we're leaving the main book move here with Queen C2. If we push next key move, then we jump down to castling, which is considered an inaccuracy according to the engine, but okay, it's not a big difference. And maybe this is even theory, right? In the opening, humans sometimes have a much more more accurate sense of what's correct. Then A6, 95 is considered a mistake. I think that's like the one mistake that Hikaru might have made in the game.
I noticed he got bishop 4 brilliancies, which is more than I've got him all year, so I think I've had about 3 brilliancies in the last 12 months or something.
I would bet that you have more than that, but you haven't done enough game reviews.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And I can illustrate that in a moment, actually. But so it says bishop takes G2 is a great move. Basically, bishop takes G2 is the only move that is good in the position. And then F3 is the only good response by Hans here. And then things get complicated. Knight F4 seems to be maybe the major mistake by Hans in the game. And then this game is really a beautiful game by Hikaru. G5 is marked as an error. What was best? Just rook E8. It's like a pawn better, but honestly, it's one of those cases where the computer is going to be a little stingy, right? Negative 1.75, negative 2. It's a difference of over a pawn, but obviously G5 ended up working out really, really well. And then after that, Hikaru just unleashes rook takes C3 here. And knight takes E4. So he sacrificed an exchange, kind of like Rotlevi versus Rubinstein. And knight takes E4 with a knight sacrifice to just rip things open for the bishops.
Pawn
F6, best move according to the engine here, leaving everything hanging and preventing a knight F6 move. So another cool move, and then the finish is really pretty. After Hans accepted the knight sacrifice on E4, finally, this bishop D3 move sacrifices the bishop in 2 ways. But it clears the queen to come in here. And bishop D3 just ends the game because of this idea of queen H1.
Very nice.
Very, very beautiful game.
Was that a speed game or?
Yes. I don't know if I can see in the details like the specific time control. Yes. 3 minutes. So I clicked over to the details tab.
Very impressive.
So that's a 3-minute game. And then there's some other things in here. Like you can see some lessons based on topics that came up. Here we have a pin. So there's a suggestion that pins might be good, right? And you can click through on all this kind of material. And there's other options here. Like you played a brilliant move. You mentioned you played, I think, 3 or 4 in this month that you saw. You can share those.
Right.
You can go and retry any of the moves. So like if Hikaru wanted to be like, well, what was the computer's preferred move? Like instead of G5, you could click the retry button and then it'll let you take another shot. And then we play that move that was suggested, rook E8. And, you know, we get a little bit of a kudos, a little bit of a pat on the back.
Right.
And also it adjusts the accuracy, which is kind of interesting. I think that's fun. If you want to kind of treat your post-game experience as a challenge, as a really great way to improve and learn, then we'll kind of show you your accuracy that you would have had if in each moment you'd found the strongest move.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and has it got an opening book as well, so you can see what people played in the same position?
Yes. So if I click here and I restart, basically I go back through. If I go here, then I'm getting a quick perspective on the opening, including my stats in the opening.
Right.
So I have a 57% win rate in the Slav defense.
I see.
And it's giving information about these positions. Obviously, I'm looking at Hikaru's game, so like this position isn't one that I'm actually that familiar with, but evidently I played it 23 times.
Right.
And then there's some master games perspective.
And
then you can also click the openings tab.
Right.
So that's the last tab, and you get a full opening explorer. And bishop b7 is by far the most common move, played 386 times.
Right, yeah.
Just a couple of
yes.
times for the other options.
Yes. That makes sense.
And you can click here and go and look at those games and so forth. That's always an option. If you're in an endgame, the openings tab will automatically become a table bases tab if you're down to a few enough positions, few enough pieces in the position.
Right. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep. So that converts automatically to a table bases tab when you get down to 7 pieces.
Right.
And I'll show you my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So let's look at that G5 move. Where is that here? There it is. Okay. So let's analyze this position. So I can click show lines here if I want, and I'll get the analysis from Stockfish. It's fairly low depth. I can click on the settings to increase that if I want. In the analysis tab, I get a few options here.
Right.
And, you know, we have the latest Stockfish 14, so that's pretty strong. I can bump the depth up. I'm not going to do that at the moment. I think my computer can handle it, but it might affect like the video quality and such.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's an issue when streaming and things like that. So you can customize this experience based on, you know, how you're prioritizing speed,
yeah,
you know, versus the quality. Obviously, if you analyze more deeply in positions or you analyze more lines, you're getting better information, but it's going to take longer to get the information and your computer may struggle a little bit. Right. But you can also click this max analysis button in the bottom here that looks like a kind of CPU chip.
Yes.
And when you click that, you get this blue line here. And this is a cloud analysis. And I think not enough people know about this. And it's really cool because you might be analyzing on a phone, on like the mobile browser. You might be on a really bad laptop. You might be on a tablet. And it might just not be possible to let your browser calculate very deeply. It just might not be something where you have the resources to do that. And this does it in the cloud. So it uses our resources to do it. It is a diamond feature. And you'll see that instead of showing negative 1.84, this is actually getting into 30 plus depth. So it's much stronger analysis. And it's saying rook fe8 is negative 3.3. So it's really loving rook fe8 and it's saying, hey, that's maybe that's a winning move, you know?
Right.
Very computer move as opposed to the direct G5, but there you go.
So you know, because often my computer's a little bit unstable. When I could hardly use ChessBase sometimes because so that doesn't affect the computer's CPU or anything. You can use it does all the work in the cloud.
It does all the work in the cloud. It uses our resources. So
Right.
if your computer is just not going to be able to calculate that deeply, then this is a great option that'll give you a much more high depth analysis. I use this a lot when I'm doing analysis and the position's really complicated. You know, I'll use ChessBase on occasion and other programs to analyze games, but 95% of the time, I'm just analyzing games in chess.com/analysis. And when I need deeper analysis, then I turn this on right here. Computers are so good these days that, you know, I think 9 times out of 10, the browser analysis is probably as much information as I need.
Right.
I think the things that I need to figure out most of the time are why the move that's recommended as a response is good and not why the move 5 moves down the road is good. You know, that's my experience. So for me, you know, most of the time I think browser analysis is cutting it, but like when I'm looking at like, is this rook sacrifice actually leading to mate? Like it looks unclear at the moment, you know, but probably there aren't that many unclear positions in chess these days. The question is just, you know, what's actually going on if I throw enough computing power at it? This is a great way to throw enough computing power at it.
Right.
And so I use this in a lot of cases. And I think this is maybe the best feature that almost no one knows about.
Right. Okay, great. So does that cover analysis? And then we've done a broadcast. Have we done play in any depth? We've talked about it. I mean, and I think most people will understand the features. Is there any sort of hidden gems that most people might not know about play?
There's obviously a lot in play. I just switched over to the play tab. I don't know that there's something that's really kind of revolutionary. Obviously, the core experience is just getting in there, starting up games, playing in tournaments, all of that stuff. You know, you have your tournament options, Swisses, arena tournaments. I think one cool thing is the player friend option. A lot of people are just looking for an easy way to play against someone that they know may not have an account on a chess site. You can send a challenge link to someone, makes it really easy for them to jump into a game with you.
And they have to be logged in. They have to be logged in into the live play, don't they? Is that right? Or
that is a good question. I'm not sure of the answer. We have guest play, so they may not have to be. I don't know.
Okay.
I will get back to you on that. I don't know if they have to be. I would suggest that they make an account because, you know, if you don't make an account, then, you know, like you wouldn't have a record of the game if you were a guest.
Yes.
You know, so
yeah.
It's free. Why not? But you might be able to do that, to play without creating an account. I'll have to check. Okay. And you see, I get a custom, like I can get the specific link, but you also just can always tell someone just go to chess.com/play/your username. Like you can have that like in like your bio on some account or whatever you're using. You can just always share that. So you can easily start a game.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is that, you know, if you're a member of the ECF, you can join the ECF clubs and we have tournaments. So which can be found in different ways. I suppose it can be found under tournaments or under our club section.
Absolutely. So if we go to chess.com/clubs, search the English Chess Federation.
Do you have to put England as the country or?
That shouldn't matter.
Okay.
That would be one way probably more useful for discovery since we know what we're looking for here. I don't think we need to specify a country, but it could be a good way for people to find other clubs that they might be interested in from England. But yeah, here you are, and you have both the members club and the open club. And so people can jump in here and check out everything, see upcoming events. So there's one tomorrow night, right here for under 1,700.
Yeah. Great, got it. Okay.
And good conversation. I see people are chatting today.
I hope there's nothing
That's cool.
terrible on there.
Hopefully. You can edit it in post if someone said something they shouldn't have.
Right, yes. Great, okay. Play.
Other things in terms of play, obviously people can watch top games, access their game archive, all kinds of stuff like that. There are great events going on, like Title Tuesday. You can enter different modes. You can go into theater mode if you want. That was in the upper right near the board, or a focus mode.
Yeah.
So you get some different perspectives here on the game. I think one thing people don't realize often is that one of the most popular things to do is to play bots. So a lot of people find playing a human kind of intimidating, maybe. And so you can play a bot, and that's really, really popular. Also with a bot, like, you can take back moves, you can start new games, you can get all that control. So if you want like just a low stress experience, you just want to practice an opening or something, you can do that. And maybe another feature on that front that could be mentioned is chess.com/practice. Like last year, we had over 1 billion games against bots. And chess.com/practice is another undersung feature where if you want to play against a computer, you can jump into this and you can start a game from any position, or just click on an opening, drill down into your opening and be like, I want to play the French defense, whatever you want. And so that can be a really satisfying way to practice. Customize the bot's level, pick your color, etc.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That is useful. You know, particularly if you're learning a new opening and you want to get practice in it against people about your rating level. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. On the custom game side, you can pick variants. Play random opponents. You can even play odds chess. If you challenge someone with a very different rating that might be a friend, it'll suggest, would you like to play odds chess? And you could if you want, and it'll automatically adjust. And if you really like variants, we're the only site right now of the leading chess sites that offers Bughouse. We also offer 4-player chess, Crazy House, Fog of War, where you don't get to see your opponent's pieces unless your piece is like attacking that square. All kinds of things. So this is like a whole separate experience for those people who really want to do some fun things with variants. And you can see there's like 600 to 700, maybe a bit more people currently playing. So that's another feature that a lot of people might not be familiar with, but there's a really dedicated variants community. You can even create your own variants and try different rule sets and things like that, which is weird, but should resonate with all of those who remember being in like elementary school or middle school and coming up with your own rules for chess. Like, what if I can't capture backwards or something like that?
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. And so, and time controls we've covered. And on settings, I mean, one of the settings I use, I only let friends chat to me. So you can do all sorts of things on settings that people don't realize, because presumably changing the board and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. There's a lot of settings. You can do many different things. It's worth taking some time and just kind of scrolling through here. Every so often we'll have a conversation that says there's too many settings, which I think we all agree with. But on the other hand, every setting that's in here is in here because some of our members really care about that setting and they really want it to work in it one way. And most of our members would prefer that something work in a different way. So there's just a lot of ability to customize. We're different than, for example, like an Apple kind of company that's like, well, let's make the choice for you. Let's try and make the choice that's going to suit most people. We really try to give you control here over exactly how you want chat, live chess, etc. to work.
Got it. And one other thing, sorry to sort of go through relentless things, there's just so many features, as you say, but I haven't really made use myself very much of looking at blogs and editorial and that sort of thing. So if I wanted to read articles or news, how would I do that?
Absolutely. So, well, let me show one setting first. So if I go into settings, one of the choices here on the very first page is my landing page. And I can choose Chess Today, or I can choose my home page, or I can choose Play. And so basically that customizes where I go when I click the logo, when I first log in. So if you're interested in educational content and you want content, then the place to go is chess.com/today. That's what I do.
Right.
Obviously as the person coordinating a lot of the content here at chess.com, I get this as my first experience.
Right.
We've just released a new feature. And so that's at the front of the Today page, but there's news here, Pan Am's recently, obviously Tata Steel is starting soon. And that'll just be dominating this news section. Most recent lesson, articles. We've got information about the FIDE Grand Prix for all those who want to find out who's playing, the schedule, all of that stuff, regulations. And yes, community blogs as well, which, as I mentioned earlier, that's one of the first things I did on site, and I still blog regularly. And here we have a blog from Ben Johnson about the most popular perpetual chess podcast. So godfather of podcasting here, kind of looking back on 2021.
Right.
So yeah, there's all of that kind of stuff in here on the chess.com/today page. And if you want a different experience, you can make the homepage your personal experience. So you log in and you go here, you see your active daily games, and you can customize all of this. So this is designed to be a totally customizable homepage based on what you want to see every day. Do you want to see your daily games, or do you never play daily? So let's uncheck that. Do you like watching broadcasts? Do you want Chess TV here, or would you like to turn that off? So there's a total control here over what this page looks like.
Right.
And this is kind of the default landing page for most people.
Right, I see. Okay, that's very useful. Very useful. So you can set up your own experience. I hadn't realized that. I thought it was just put there in front of you. And
we'll put an experience there in front of you, but you can change it.
Right.
We try to come up with one that we think is what most people want, but everyone's different. So I encourage everyone to get in there and figure out the settings that are going to make them most happy. I was connected on a call recently with someone, and they had literally unchecked all of this. I think they only wanted the quick links box right here. They had 4 quick links, and it was like, that's it. Like, if I want to go somewhere else, I'll go there, but I only want 4 buttons.
Right. Well, I think the modern way is to rule out noise, isn't it? So less is more. Yeah.
It's very minimalist. Yes, that is an option. So
yeah, good, great. Okay. Is there anything I forgot? Yes, there is one thing I wanted to, which is just slightly different, but ChessKid. I mean, I've heard of ChessKid. I haven't actually been on it. It's of use. Am I right, for teaching children or children playing?
Absolutely. So let me show you 2 quick things, and then I'll go to ChessKid.
Yeah.
One thing I know I'm getting a lot of tabs now, but I'm not at Andrew Tang's level, so I think I'm okay. One thing is chess.com/events. So for anyone who wants to follow top chess events, World Championship, Tata Steel, World Rapid and Blitz, we think this is just a great way to follow those games. We've been getting really good feedback on this experience. I think that one of the best things about chess.com is just that it's an all-in-one site. Like, we really are trying to provide all of the features that people are looking for and try and make them work together. So for people who are interested in following these big events, which is a lot of people, so many more people following top chess events than ever before. This is, I think, a great experience. It's providing high depth analysis of the games. We're doing cloud analysis of the top games. So we've got special servers dedicated for things like Tata Steel. That's going to be something to check out.
Right.
Here we've got the Prague Open. David Cherv, who's playing, is our director of Polish. So
Okay.
Very active player, getting so close to IM right here. So good luck to him. Maybe he'll make it in this particular event. But I mentioned that stuff connects here. Like, you can take this game and you can open it up in analysis and run a game review on it. You can share it right here. Everything is really portable between different parts of the site. And
right.
The other thing I'd show real quick before jumping over to Chess Kid is literally yesterday, we just launched Classroom. So for anyone who's looking to do chess lessons, or just to connect with friends, or to do seminars, then we have a classroom experience that people can check out now. Basically, it gives you a shared analysis board where you can load stuff from your different collections in here.
Right.
You can load student games, etc. I think I actually didn't finish the loading process there. Yeah, I got to add the game. Okay. So I was still in kind of preview perspective. The thing that Classroom is doing here, and I'm not going to do it because I've got my video on right now, is I can turn on my video, turn on my audio. I can share a session for totally free. You can be on a completely free membership with another person. And if you have any level of premium membership and you host a call, you can have an unlimited number of participants. So if you just have a gold membership, you can do a seminar with 50, 100 people here, and everyone can have their video and audio on. If you're doing 50 or 100 people, I definitely recommend not turning on everyone's video and audio. That's going to be terrible.
Yes.
But it can work. And I think it should be a really satisfying experience. I coached for a really long time. And, I was using Skype. Now I'd be using Zoom like we are, and the chessboard. And this gets it all into just one place. So you just have the Classroom.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I always struggled with was getting students in. Like, I have a student, we want to share a chessboard. I would go to the play server, create an analysis board, and invite them. But now that's a lot easier because I literally just copy this URL, send it to them, and boom, they just jump right in.
Very good.
So I just have to hop in and send them the URL I've got right here.
Right. Yeah, no, that's excellent. So that just started just today, or yesterday. Yep.
Put that out there yesterday, and we've been seeing great responses from coaches, and also good suggestions. So we've got phase 2 ideas already coming in for new and crazy things that people want as well. But we're really happy with the response that we've seen already, that it's really got all the basic stuff that everyone's looking for to really easily do more lessons.
Great stuff. Yeah, good. Yeah, excellent.
On the ChessKid front, I've used ChessKid for a really long time, but I can't say that I'm as up to date as I would like to be.
Right. Okay.
because I just am not able to teach these days anymore. So I hopped into my account, but absolutely for people who have kids, my daughter just turned 4 and she's not yet playing chess, but she is playing capture M&Ms. I promised her a game tonight, which is where we use a chessboard and one piece at a time. And I put M&Ms on the chessboard and she has to capture them. And she can only move like the rook vertically and horizontally. So we're not yet at the level of Chess Kid, but we probably will be before she turns 5.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's the same engine. It's a different experience. It's totally customized for kids. So you can do play, learning, coaching. The lessons experience is particularly great for kids with lots of videos, and they're all super short, 3-minute, 5-minute, really fitting with the attention span of a kid. I use them a lot in classrooms over the years. So I'm not going to be able to unpack anything, but I could certainly answer some questions. Unpack everything, but I could certainly answer some questions. But
well,
for those looking to use it, it's a really great experience for kids and especially for larger classrooms.
Yeah, I don't think we need to really cover it off, but just say, is it sort of like under 12s or something like that, or does it even older than that?
So I think really Chess Kid is best for up to about 13.
Right.
And one of the things that that Chess Kid does is it has a lot of safety features. Like on chess.com, you can make friends and you can chat, you can send messages, and all of that is different on Chess Kid. And a lot of it is different because of laws that say it has to be different when you're talking about kids.
Right.
And every nation's laws might differ in this matter, but COPPA comes into play when you're in the United States. So like if you're wanting to do, school programs, you have to think about appropriate measures and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's really addressing that. So it has all of the play and the tournaments and lessons and puzzles in a package that is safe.
Right.
So that's one thing that's really important. And I've used it in middle schools and it's been very popular. And yeah, once you're up to 13, then I think it's probably time to to graduate basically to a chess.com account.
Yeah.
And that's about kind of the experience that I had when I was teaching, is that once kids were, really into chess and were kind of in the middle school area, they were kind of edging on to, I want to go play adults and so forth like that. And so I would just say for parents, just make sure that you're properly supervising them and are fully aware of everything that they're doing, but they're going to be wanting to kind of graduate maybe in middle school, right around that area.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Great. Okay. Well, have I left? Is there anything you think, Sam, that you'd like to mention, or I've left out, or we've left out?
My voice is like shot, but I've really enjoyed going over the site with you, Danny. So there are other things that I could mention, but I won't unless there are questions. Right. If people want to ask me questions about the site, like you mentioned this thing, but I didn't really understand it. Could you elaborate a little bit? They can message me on chess.com. It's just Sam Copeland. So they can send me a message and ask me more questions. So there's certainly other things that I didn't touch on, but hopefully I gave a good sense of the whole site. There's, like I say, like 80 features. It's a large site, but every single part of the site has at least some significant community that really cares about it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I think
200,000 people are playing, but there's also hundreds of people playing variants and checking out other features that they really care about that you probably had no idea that we had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking personally, I've used it for years, but I've learned a lot today about various things that I didn't do, in terms of reviewing and in terms of the puzzles and so on and so forth. So it's great to have this opportunity to see a range of useful useful tools. So yeah, so thanks very much for that, and I'll maybe call this video call off now, but I'll email you soon, Sam. Yeah.
All right, that sounds great. It's really great to talk to you. I hope this is useful to some of the ECF members.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot. Take care.